Okay, picture this. You're relaxing on the couch, you've just hooked up a brand new, incredibly cheap TV streaming box you found a killer deal on online, and you are totally ready to binge your favorite shows. It just sits there, right? Quietly blinking under your TV. But what if I told you that innocent-looking little piece of plastic is actually working a secret second job? Right now, literally as we speak, everyday consumer devices are being weaponized right inside our homes. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are unpacking a massive cybersecurity discovery that completely flips the script on the smart tech we trust every day. Seriously, you gotta ask yourself, is your TV streaming box secretly hosting cybercrime? I know. It sounds exactly like the plot of a late-night sci-fi thriller, doesn't it? We all just naturally assume these budget-friendly gadgets are only there to connect us to streaming apps. But recent findings reveal that a cheap TV box can actually serve as a covert agent for global hackers. It's essentially quietly unlocking the front door and letting the absolute worst parts of the internet walk right into your living room. Section 1. Enemy in your living room. Streaming cybercrime. Okay, let's dive right into this. To really grasp the scale of what's going on here, we need to look at a recent, massive investigation involving major tech giants and federal law enforcement. So, cybersecurity researchers uncovered something they dubbed the pop-up botnet. Now, a botnet is basically just a zombie army of infected computers. But in this case, the foot soldiers, they aren't traditional PCs or laptops. They are everyday consumer TV streaming devices. These little Android-based boxes were hijacked, linked all together, and turned into a massive, covert network that hackers could just effortlessly tap into to run all sorts of shady internet activities. Section 2. How the botnet worked? Decoding the mechanics. You're probably wondering right now, how on earth does a simple streaming box get drafted into a global cybercrime syndicate? Let's decode the tech for a second. The whole heart of this operation revolves around something called a residential proxy. Think of a residential proxy as the ultimate digital disguise. See, normally, if a hacker is trying to break into a system from, say, a server farm halfway across the world, their IP address instantly gives away their true location, and security systems just block them. Boom, access denied. But a residential proxy routes their internet traffic through your home IP address. Suddenly, they don't look like a hacker in a distant basement anymore. To the system, they just look like a regular person sitting on your couch using your home Wi-Fi. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how the trap was set. It goes like this. Step 1. A consumer buys a super cheap TV box. Step 2. A totally hidden software development kit, or SDK, activates in the background. Researchers actually traced this back to an Israeli residential proxy provider named NetNut, whose SDKs were secretly pre-installed on these devices right out of the box. Step 3, the software just silently sits there, keeping a backdoor open so hackers can route their traffic through that home IP. And finally, Step 4, the device becomes an exit node for malicious acts. We're talking account hijacking and a ton of ad fraud, which is essentially a scheme to generate cash by faking web traffic. And the wildest part? The owner of the TV box is sitting right there, completely oblivious. To give you a sense of the sheer, mind-blowing magnitude of this operation, Google's investigation confirmed this proxy network appeared to span at least 2 million devices globally. 2 million. That is 2 million living rooms, bedrooms, and home networks silently hijacked to mask illegal activity. Now, if that wasn't crazy enough, here is a number that is truly chilling. 316. Google found hard evidence that 316 distinct threat clusters were actually using these exact proxy exit nodes. We are talking about highly organized cybercriminal syndicates and actual espionage groups using home networks to conduct password spray attacks. And here's the absolute scariest part of the whole shebang. When your device becomes an exit node like this, unauthorized traffic is physically passing through it. That means these bad actors can potentially pivot and access other private personal devices connected to that exact same home network. Your phone, your laptop, it's all exposed. Section 3. Striking Back. Google and the FBI. Fortunately, an operation of this size didn't stay hidden forever. A massive spike in strange internet traffic triggered a highly coordinated takedown. It was this incredible two-pronged attack involving Google, the FBI, and Lumen Technologies to neutralize the threat. On one side, you had Google, who obviously develops the Android operating system running on these boxes in the first place. They went in and shut down the accounts and services the operators were relying on. They also deployed Android's built-in Google Play Protect to actively disable applications known to use these malicious SDKs. On the other side, law enforcement swooped in, with the FBI officially seizing the netnut.com domain. And, just to give the full picture here, NetNut's parent company Alarm Technologies has publicly stated they are taking the matter seriously and are fully cooperating with law enforcement to investigate how their infrastructure was misused. But honestly, despite this massive disruption that rescued millions of devices, there's a pretty surprising twist. While the .com domain was seized by the feds, the company's .io site, netnut.io, is still entirely active today. Right now, it's out there advertising services like limitless web data extraction for companies that want to scrape data for AI training. It really just goes to show how incredibly resilient and frankly complex this entire ecosystem of proxy services really is. Section 4. Protect your network, secure your smart tech. So, the absolute crucial point is, what does this actually mean for you? Well, while the big tech companies are fighting this battle on a global scale, your front line is actually your wallet. Take a look at this direct, no-nonsense warning from Google. Consumers should be extremely wary of applications that offer payment in exchange for unused bandwidth or sharing your internet. These types of apps are the ultimate Trojan horses right now. They promise you a few bucks of easy passive income, but they are actually the primary way these massive malicious proxy networks spread like wildfire, creating massive vulnerabilities for your entire home network. So to make sure you don't accidentally become an unwitting accomplice to international cybercrime, here is your concrete game plan. First up, always buy your streaming devices from reputable brand name manufacturers. Second, actively avoid unknown providers pushing ultra-cheap, generic set-top boxes. Seriously, if the price seems way too good to be true, you are probably the product. Third, absolutely never install apps that offer to pay you for your unused internet bandwidth. Just don't do it. And finally, always remember that cheap, unbranded tech can come fresh out of the shrink wrap already loaded with malware. This whole explainer really shatters the illusion that just because a device has a simple job, it has simple security. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought to wrap up on. If a budget TV streaming box can be weaponized to compromise your entire home network and host cybercriminal activity, what else is hiding in the cheap, smart tech scattered around your home? It is definitely something to chew on the next time you're hunting for a bargain online. Thanks so much for joining me to unpack this fascinating source material, and as always, stay curious.